Apple just announced the all-new iPhone SE, which they renamed the iPhone 16e, and it's going to be up for pre-order this Friday. So what exactly is new with Apple's latest iPhone, and should you pre-order it? There's quite a bit to talk about. There's quite a few... Oh, it's snowing. Hey, look at that. That's insane. So anyway, there's a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and begin. First things first, the new iPhone 16e is going to support Apple Intelligence since it now has 8GB of RAM and the Apple A18 chip. But just because it has the same chip as the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro, it does not mean you're getting the same performance, because the iPhone 16e comes with a 4-core GPU, the 16 has a 5-core GPU, and the 16 Pro has a 6-core GPU. So if your main goal of this iPhone 16e is to play a ton of games and expect amazing performance, well, unfortunately, you're not going to get the same performance as the 16 or 16 Pro. The iPhone 16e does come in two colors, black and white, which is boring, and the display is 6.1 inches, just like the iPhone 16. And hey, look at that, it even comes with an action button, which first debuted on the iPhone 15 series. And now, for the first time ever, there's USB-C on the cheapest iPhone, which is great because one cable to rule them all. Finally. Now, as far as cameras go, the iPhone 16e has a single camera, the 48-megapixel fusion camera from the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro, which means it can do a 2x crop without really destroying any quality. That's why Apple calls it the 2-in-1 camera system, even though there's just like one camera. So yeah, you have the 1x, which is the full 48 megapixels, or you can do the 2x crop into that 48 megapixel sensor, leading you to having a 24 megapixel photo straight out of the box. Now, the biggest difference with the camera is actually the software instead of the hardware. So, for example, with the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro, you have the latest generation of portrait mode shots. So you can take a photo of someone with the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro, and then you can transform that photo into a portrait mode photo later on if you want. With the iPhone 16e, however, that's not possible. If you want to take a portrait mode photo, you actually have to go over to the portrait mode tab, then take the photo. And then let's say you don't like the way it came out, well, you can't make it go back to not being a portrait mode photo. I hope that makes sense. The same is true with photographic styles. With the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro, you have the latest generation of photographic styles. So if you take a photo, you can then go back and look at that photo and then put on a different photographic effect. With the iPhone 16e, however, you cannot do that. You have to pick one effect, and then if you don't like that effect, you actually have to delete the whole photo and then retake the photo using a different effect or no effect at all. Now, since the iPhone 16e only has one camera, it cannot do any spatial videos or photos, which I think is fine because there's maybe like 4 people on Earth with the Apple Vision Pro headset, so there you go. But the good news is that both the front and the rear cameras can record 4K 60 Dolby Vision HDR, which is quite impressive. Another difference, and I actually wrote this down because you're missing quite a bit with the iPhone 16e. So with the iPhone 16e, you cannot do cinematic mode. There's no action mode, no macro photos. And if you want to take a quick take video by holding down on the shutter button, you're getting that last generation of quick take video, which kind of takes a square video. However, with the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro, if you hold down the shutter button to take a quick take video, it is going to be 4K 60 up to HDR Dolby Vision. So you're getting like no quality loss with the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro compared to the iPhone 16e. Again, I hope that made sense. Now, as far as stabilization goes, the iPhone 16e does not have the sensor shift optical stabilization like the iPhone 16 has. Instead, the iPhone 16e is going to be using just the basic optical stabilization. Now, you know, the difference we don't really know yet. I mean, we can just go back and compare it to iPhones that don't have that sensor shift technology, but I kind of want to compare it side by side, you know, the latest and the greatest compared to the budget. And of course, I did order or will order the phone this Friday when it does drop out for pre-order, and I'll be comparing it myself because I'm kind of curious to see, does that sensor shift technology really make a world of a difference? But hey, on the flip side of things, the new iPhone 16e will have the option of audio mix, so you can tune out background noises such as the wind, kids yelling, or your parents getting a divorce in the background. So there's that. Now, of course, thanks to the new design, you have Face ID as well as 5G support, and the pricing of the iPhone 16e is $599. I think that's a little bit overpriced because right now on eBay, you can get a used iPhone 15 Pro for basically the same amount of money, maybe like 20 bucks more. But for that $20 more, you're getting a much better phone, like much better. And it still has Apple Intelligence, so you have that as well. The pricing is a bit weird in my opinion. So what do you guys think about the iPhone 16e? Well, who do you think it's for? Are you going to pre-order it this Friday, or are you just completely going to be ignoring the phone? Let me know your opinions down below, and if you guys did enjoy today's video, definitely click that like button. It's absolutely free for you, but it helps me and the channel out a lot, and I always truly appreciate it. And if you're new here, you want to see some upcoming videos of the iPhone 16e, definitely subscribe. And as always, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.